third GOP debate begins tonight.
Housing market on the rise. My name is Abby Zeman.
And I'm Hannah Wiegand, and this is your Public Eye News. Marquette City Commission on Monday voted 4-3 in favor of an increase from the Marquette Board of Light and Power. The increase is expected to contain 3 17-megawatt natural gas engines. Members said the decision was in the best interest to order and to save money and ensure consistent energy service. Marquette Commissioner Tom Baldini, though, wanted to see other alternative solutions along with more time. Preparations for the new center will take place this upcoming winter, and construction will begin this summer. The rate increase will go into effect in October of 2016. A car crash that happened around 10 a.m. yesterday on US 2 is being investigated. Michigan State Police from the Iron Mountain Post say the crash happened near M95 and Pine Mountain Road. A 34-year-old woman lost control of her vehicle when it left the roadway, sliding through an embankment and striking a utility pole. Her car then re-entered the roadway and turned onto Pine Mountain Road, colliding with a County Road Commission vehicle before leaving the scene. The woman was later found at the Rivers Bend Park, where she was then taken to the Dickinson County Hospital. If anyone witnessed the incident, you're asked to call 906-774-2122.
Despite national decline, home sales remain steady in Marquette and Algier County. Monday, the United States Commerce Department reported that new home sales plunged 11.5% last month. This is the lowest since November of 2014. Marquette and Algier counties show no signs of slowing and credit the success to low interest rates on new homes. The sales on existing homes in Marquette and Algier counties are up as well, raised 22% from a year ago. Fortunately, growth is expected to continue, according to associate broker at Century 21 Prime Real Estate, Penn Figueras. The Ontonagon County Sheriff's Office Department plans to get unused prescription medication off the streets to reduce substance abuse. The second prescription medication unit was installed at the Asperus UP Clinic and Bruce Crossing last month. Based on the last 6 months of collecting 50 pounds of pills in one safe alone, the sheriff believes the units will do well. Ontonagon County Sheriff Dale Rantala urges citizens to dispose of pills after use. Needles and liquids are not accepted at the disposal units.
State police stopped an attempt to smuggle a prescription drug into a Lower Peninsula prison that was hidden behind a postage stamp. Jamie Nicole Rise of Lake City is now facing 4 felony charges, which include conspiracy to send controlled substances. Rise has since requested a court-appointed lawyer, and her next hearing will be November 10th. Rise tried to smuggle Subox 1, a drug that blocks cravings for heroin and painkillers. Her son, Robert Leroy Elling III, was an inmate at the correctional facility. And the Michigan Judicial Tenure Commission is requesting the Supreme Court ensure a Jackson County judge for misconduct. Michigan's High Court has also asked to order a 30-day unpaid suspension for the judge, who did not deny the ethical violations. District Judge R. Darrell Mazur earlier in a handwritten letter asked a woman he placed on probation if she was interested in a romantic relationship. He also tried to interfere in another judge's case to help a former neighbor. And after the break, we will have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. This week on UTR, it's another one of our patented UP adventures. We'll go to a lake in the clouds that will blow your majestic mind, hit Houghton Hancock for a beer lover's brewery, and take a trip deep under copper country. Then we hit a historic bar with pickled pleasures and a place where you can eat, drink, and sleep with Lake Superior tickling your toes. It's back to the Upper Peninsula on UTR.
Thursday evening at 9:30 on Public TV 13.
Welcome back. Parents of a 4-year-old girl who spent a month in hospital after eating a taco from a Washington food truck are seeking to sue. Elizabeth Booter, age 4, spent almost a month in the hospital after contracting E. coli. Elizabeth's parents claim their daughter got sick from bacteria because she ate food from Los Chilangos food truck at the Asaqua Farmers Market last August. The King County Health Department shut down the kitchen Los Chilangos shared with nearly a dozen other food businesses, but later reopened after meeting certain health safety requirements. The sheriff's deputy seen on video violently removing a student from her desk in South Carolina has been fired from his job. The sheriff says another video shows the student hitting the officer before he put his hands on her, but did not say it justified Benfield's actions.
The South Carolina sheriff's deputy seen scuffling with a high school student in a cell phone video has been fired. The sheriff says Ben Fields did have the right to put his hands on the student to remove her from the classroom, but went too far.
Deputy Fields did not follow proper training, did not follow proper procedure when he threw the student across the room.
Fields' actions have outraged many in the community, including parents, about a dozen whom voiced their opinions at a Tuesday night school district board meeting.
You guys, you are responsible for these people.
Classmates of the student say the confrontation began when a teacher and school administrator repeatedly asked her to put away her cell phone during class. One student, who asked that his face and voice be concealed, says other kids in the class tried to defuse the situation.
She was even told by the students to just get up and leave when the administrator came in.
My first thought was, oh my God, that's the same guy.
Wendy Johnson says her autistic son was in a physical struggle with Deputy Fields when he was a freshman. She took these photos of her son after the altercation, his shirt torn and marks on his arms and shoulder.
The people that are supposed to be protecting my children, I've got to worry if they're being hurt by those people.
Fields is still the target of a federal investigation that could take several weeks. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Columbia, South Carolina.
Former House Speaker Dennis Hastert pleaded guilty today to lying to the FBI in a money scheme. Hastert agreed to a deal with prosecutors that recommends he serve no more than 6 months in a prison and averting a trial in the case. A judge, however, could do things differently and give the former speaker up to 5 years in prison. And all eyes will be on Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson tonight as 10 GOP contenders participate in a third debate focusing on fiscal policy. 4 lower polling candidates, including Rick Santorum, Bobby Jindal, George Pataki, and Lindsey Graham, will take part in an undercard debate. Ahead of the 2-hour primetime event, Don Champion has the latest from New York.
But I don't like being second is terrible to me.
On the eve of the third Republican debate, Donald Trump held his second rally of the week in the early voting state of Iowa, this time pleading for support.
Will you please do me a favor and work with my people and go out on February 1st and vote and give us a victory?
For the first time, a new CBS News poll shows the billionaire businessman trailing neurosurgeon Ben Carson, not only in Iowa, but nationally, in part because of his personality. Tea Party Republicans and evangelicals prefer Carson's tone and demeanor.
I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, and that is telling the truth and talking about the things that I think are relevant to the people.
I've about had it with these people.
In need of a strong debate performance, Ohio Governor John Kasich attacked his Republican rivals at a pre-debate rally last night in his state, specifically calling out Carson.
We got one candidate that says that we ought to abolish Medicaid and Medicare. You ever heard of anything so crazy as that?
Experts say tonight's debate, focusing on fiscal policy, favors candidates who have held office and understand how setting a budget works. Don Champion, CBS News.
And after the break, we'll have your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Next time on PBS Arts, Lincoln Center is invaded by music and mayhem from the surreal imaginations of filmmaker Tim Burton and composer Danny Elfman. From Edward Scissorhands to Batman, Celebrate the music that made these movies so unforgettable. When Live from Lincoln Center presents Danny Elfman's music from the films of Tim Burton.
Friday evening at 9 on Public TV 13.
Hello, welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Eric Shapiro with a look at your weather. As you can see behind me, it has been raining on and off all day. The clouds are coming down, so there is a little bit of fog. Currently, it is rainy with a temperature of 47, winds southeast at 10 miles an hour, and a barometric pressure of 29.31 inches and falling. Tonight will be rainy with a low of 43, winds west-southwest at 10 miles an hour. And into tomorrow will be rainy with a high of 44, winds northwest at 26 miles an hour. Across the UP, it's fairly wet, and in Sault Ste. Marie, it's 48 in rain. Manistique is 51. In Escanaba is 52. Menominee is 52 as well with partly cloudy. In Iron Mountain is 48. In Ironwood is 44. Up in Houghton is 47 with some rain, just the same as Marquette. Looking ahead, Friday will be a high of 48, low of 40, mostly sunny. Saturday will be a high of 51, low of 43, and some showers. Sunday will be a high of 54, low of 43, and partly cloudy. So it doesn't look like there's any end in this rain. Did the baseball game end last night?
It did, finally, Eric. The World Series started last night in Kansas City with the Royals taking on the New York Mets. For the first time in 112 years, the game started off with an inside-the-park home run at the bottom of the first inning by Royals infielder Alcides Escobar. The game turned into the longest World Series opener ever, lasting 14 innings and more than 5 hours. The Mets had a 3-1 lead at the top of the sixth, but the Royals answered back with 2 runs, tying it up. Mets came back with 1 run in the 8th, but Royals left fielder Alex Gordon tied it up with a home run in the bottom of the 9th. The game ran 4 more innings until at the bottom of the 14th, Eric Hosmer hit a sacrifice fly to the right field, allowing Escobar to score and the Royals to win the game 5-4. Game 2 of the World Series will be played tonight once again in Kansas City. And just 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, the Vancouver Canucks were up 2-0 against the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens were 9-0 going into this game and were looking to match a league record. The Toronto Maple Leafs and Buffalo Sabres remain the only 2 teams in the league to ever have had a record of 10 consecutive wins to start the season, with the Canucks' 5-1 win in Rogers Arena last night. Carey Price, who had only given up 9 goals in his 7 starts of the season, gave up 5 goals on just 28 shots. Canadians finally got on the board early in the 3rd with a tip-in by Torrey Mitchell. After a too-many-men penalty, the Canucks moved the score to 4-1 on a power play goal late in the 3rd period, and the Canadiens never answered back. The Canadiens are looking to start a new win streak on Thursday when they play the Oilers in Edmonton. And the Chicago Blackhawks have announced the recall of forward Tanner Kero, who had been playing for the Rockford IceHogs of the American Hockey League. Kero, 23, has put up 8 points in his 5 games with the IceHogs this season. Earlier this week, he was named Player of the Week after getting 3 goals, an assist, and a +5 rating. The Hancock, Michigan native put up a collegiate career-high 46 points out of 41 games his senior year with the Michigan Tech Huskies, while also leading the Western Collegiate Hockey Association in points. Along with leading points, Kero was named WCHA Player of the Year, Outstanding Student Athlete of the Year, and to the All-WCHA First Team. Kero signed with Chicago as a free agent on April 2nd, 2015. So I hear Game 3 of the World Series has a pretty exciting opening act.
That's right. There's even more anticipation for this year's Game 3 of the World Series, as Billy Joel is scheduled to sing the national anthem. The game is Friday night between the Mets and the Kansas City Royals. This won't be the Mets' first encounter with Joel. Joel sang the national anthem during Game 1 of the 2000 World Series between the Mets and Yankees at Yankee Stadium. So that's another thing that I'll be looking forward to this year for the World Series.
Absolutely. And that is all the time we have for you tonight on Public Eye News. Please tune in again tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.